How do you go to community?
Should be on the top area, isn't it there?
That's the go live button, the notification, search, and then.
All right, search Bakar Muff. Click on my page.
Community. Yeah.
And then click edit. It should be the edit button. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, this is an impromptu lesson with the brother I'm Now with Allah, and the spirit, you know, the spirit permits. So we just wanted to get into this lesson, and mainly dealing with, like I titled it, start reading these articles. Okay, start reading these articles. And could you get 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1? Because the scriptures talk about measuring the times diligently. And a part of measuring the times diligently is watching the news, paying attention to what's going on in the world. But a lot of the information is coming out through these articles. These news articles, whether from RT News or Zero Hedge or Yahoo News or Bloomberg, Forbes, wherever, there's always some information that's coming out, you know, that, yes, there's different headlines that you can get some information from. And occasionally, like, you know, often we'll do that depending on if there's a lot of articles, you know, we'll read headline and read just a little bit of it, skim over it a little bit, you know, but you actually want to read the articles, because that's how you get the information, or the correct and accurate information as to what is actually going on. Remember that some of these articles, they put certain titles to attract readers, and then you need to actually read the full article to understand what is the full message, what's actually going on. You know, and in reading you might find out, you know, more information about maybe, I don't know, like an external document related to the thing that the article is going into, you know. But you got to actually read these things to get the full information. Like, there's certain articles that come out dealing with the the CBDCs. You know, there's certain articles that come out dealing with you know, the world government, the IMF, all these. You know, you got to look into these things. Some articles come out dealing with you know, the economic, you know, data turmoil, all of that stuff, which, you know, nobody's asking you to go become an economist, because we're not economic experts. You know, you know enough to understand what it is you're reading, you know, so you can keep on going. But you still want to make sure you're able to get the information from these articles, because they do contain a lot of information. You know, when you read through all of it, you know, you can get a better understanding as to what is going on. You can measure the times more diligently, because you're actually getting the actual information, you know, aside from just the headline. But yeah, you just bring that out because it's Slack, because it's very important in these times to actually be aware, you know, to actually be up to speed on current events, because these current events aren't just any old current events. These are prophetic related current events, you know. So it's definitely very important to actually know what is happening in the world, you know what is happening, you know, in America and Europe and Germany, to understand these things at least to a decent level, so that you can know how is this eventually going to affect you, you know. You got it.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
And this was the angel Uriel answering Ezra, okay? And he told him, measure thou the time diligently in itself, right? So now that we are in these times, we've been given signs to look out for, all right, that are gonna let us know how close we are to the end, what's going on, you know, because we don't have an exact date and hour and time. We don't have a date time stamp that we can just tell you, but we do have signs. And these signs, they're like evolving signs that show us, okay, how close are we you know, and what in essence, what direction are things headed in, right? So you have to measure the times diligently. Now, we have the scriptures, which have the prophecies in them, and so we can make reference to the scriptures to see, okay, what is the end goal, right? What is actually supposed to happen? And you look at these articles and the current events, and they'll tell you how close are you to whatever it is that's supposed to happening, right? Because we know, for example, the MOTB, you know, is according to prophecy, it's gonna come out and it's gonna be made mandatory. Revelation 13, he calls of all, both small and great. So now when you see different articles about like the World Bank, the IMF, the CBDCs, about how they're planning to implement these things, it's good to read them and be up to speed on them so that you can see, oh, okay, well, I know there's a prophecy on the MOTB, but I also know that in terms of current events, you know, it looks like these are steps that they're taking towards bringing out, you know, this thing, you know, looks like they want to implement this. They want to go through a central bank digital currency, and then eventually they want to start moving to that, you know, that changing the form from your phone to eventually something else. You know, it gives you a better understanding and a better gauge of how societal current events assimilate into prophetic events that are set to happen. How one thing leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to prophecy. You got it?
And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right. So when you see part of these signs start happening, right, which we've been told, then we're going to understand that, oh, okay, it's this same time. Because, for example, the scriptures talk about in Matthew 24, the Lord spoke about earthquakes in diverse places, pestilences, famines, the beginning of sorrows. He also spoke about 70 AD, you know, but you also have certain scriptures that go into things happening more on a connected scale. You know, one thing happening after the other, them happening in a sequential order. So there are certain prophecies that are not going to be separated. You know, the MOTB and the destruction, those are going to happen in the same lifetime. Those that take the MOTB, they're gonna taste of that judgment of nuclear fire, which is gonna be linked with that World War III. And then World War III is also going to be linked with the return of Yahushua, because the scriptures say that.
I got a point.
Okay, I got you real quick. The return of Yahushua. So when you see the signs of World War III happening, you know that this is the same time that Yahushua is going to make his return. This is the same time that the MOTB is going to be instituted. It ain't going to be World War III happens, and then you got to wait till another lifetime before the rest of the prophecies come. No, because they're linked together. You got it.
And when it says, then thou shalt understand, it is the very same time. As the word keeps playing to the tune of prophecy, and prophecy keeps kicking off, we begin to understand, like, we begin to see that it becomes more clearer to us.
That's right. Yep. They make everything starts to fall. The pieces start to fall into place, you know, and it all starts to make sense. Oh, okay. So 2nd Ezra 15, it talked about, you know, them doing, what's up with this one, man? Them doing this, and them doing that, and them doing this. But now you're seeing, oh, okay, well, it doesn't just happen out of nowhere. Something has to cause it, right? There had to be some cause, some trigger. And now you're seeing, oh, these look like steps. Now they're warning about civil unrest. It tells you that in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, uproars of the people around the world. You know, they're warning about food shortages. They're warning about inflation. That's in the scriptures, right? So the scriptures will tell you what's going to happen, but paying attention to the news and to what's going on will tell you how that's going to happen, what is going to lead up to it, what are certain causes. All right, and knowing that actually, you know, gives you that stability, and it'll give you a better understanding of, okay, this looks like the next step after what they're doing now. Keep going on that.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee,
Right.
even,
So,
even from the beginning.
right. So when we see these signs, immediately we're thinking of scriptures, and we well understand. Oh yeah, this is definitely prophecy. You know, this is definitely what was written. What you doing? This is definitely what was written in the scriptures to happen. You know, so when we see these things, we don't get confused. Oh, why is this happening? What's going on here? And no, it only confirms further.
Camera reported ahead.
It only confirms further in our minds that yes, this is prophecy. This is what was spoken of in the beginning, before even our time, you know, by the prophets of old, and now it is taking place. And that's why prophecy is a very, very important topic to not only go into, but to understand. You know, understanding prophecy gives you awareness of the times that you are in. And in these times, the scriptures say you got to redeem in the times, for the days are evil. You got to be circumspect, not well, as wise, not as fools, right? To be a fool means you're ignorant. You're ignorant of whatever the case is. And these are not the times to be ignorant of things. Oh, real quick, Isaiah 33:6. In Isaiah 33:6, man, sometimes people overlook or underestimate the power of mental stability. All right, they underestimate the power of mental stability, but at the end of the day, when you don't have mental stability, you can't function. There's something called rational thinking. When people panic, they cannot think rationally, meaning that they can't connect even if it's a simple point A to point B, they can't connect it. Simple things, simple steps, basic decisions to make, they can't even do that because they're not able to think rationally. Fear has crippled their thoughts. For example, I remember one time I was on campus, and there was a woman. I think she was college. She's also a student, but she had a kid, and I guess I don't know what happened. She looked somewhere else for a few seconds, and she couldn't find her kid. And I mean, this woman was completely bugging out. She was panicked. She was losing her mind. She wasn't able to think rationally because basic questions that were asked to her, she couldn't even answer. And that led to no productivity because she couldn't answer questions. She couldn't even begin to look for her child because she was bugging out so much. So it was like, somebody cannot help you because you can't provide them the information needed. Where did you last see them? I don't know. Help my child. I did. All right, we're trying to help you find your child, but you need to give us I don't know, but please, what do I do? That mentality she was stuck in was blocking her from doing anything else but be stuck in that mentality. So she couldn't. Okay, well, all right. The last place he was here. How about you check over here? I'm gonna check over here. This is what he looks like. This is what he sounds like. He's short. If we need to make an announcement over whatever in the building, these things, which are immediate things that you would think of to do right away, she wasn't able to do because she was panicking. And because she was panicking, she couldn't understand anything. She couldn't think of anything. She was just panicking. All right. And that's what a lot of people are going to be doing in these times. You ever seen a movie where usually they show like a woman, she's crying and she's bugging, and the main character is telling her to calm down, grab the phone, and she's still bugging out. She's bugging out. He got to yell at her before she can snap out of it. And sometimes they tell them snap out of it. They got to yell at them or shake them so they snap out of it. And then they calm down a little bit. And they're like, all right, grab the phone. Her hand is shaking. Instead of she's pressing the wrong number and shit, because she's panicking. But you got to calm. How do you get them to be productive? You got to calm their mind. Calm down and do one step at a time. Press this, press this, press this. You're going to be fine. And that's when they can start to make proper decisions. This is something people overlook. They overlook the importance of being able to do this because on your regular day-to-day life, you don't have to go through this situation. You're able to think normally. I mean, for the most part, some people even in their regular lives can't do that. But for the most part, you're able to think rationally and do what you have to do. So people overlook that ability to do so. And when they don't know what's going on, because a lot of massive things are happening at the same time, they're going to start to lose their minds. Isaiah 33:6.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, let's get it.
This is Isaiah chapter 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Now, what wisdom and knowledge is this? Is this just any old wisdom and knowledge? And Salakia, keep seeing my fingers over there. I'm trying to make sure the phone is not overheating, although it might overheat in a few. So, Lord willing, maybe after this precept, we might wrap it up. But it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? So it's not just any wisdom and knowledge. It's the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's what's going to keep you stable. Okay? Go ahead.
And the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Yeah, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of that wisdom and knowledge and understanding. All right? And fearing the Lord will give you mental stability. It will calm you down. It will give you a sense of direction on, okay, what is happening? What is going to happen after this? What should I do? What can I do? What are my options? All of these things come with the fear of the Lord. All right? So that's why it's important now, to seek the Lord, to gain that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to build up your faith, to gather up faith for a treasure. Because you're going to need to dig into this faith, when the time comes. All right? And everybody's going to be bugging out. And at that time, it's going to be too late to go. You can't go and buy stability. It's you either know it or you don't. And when it comes to faith, you either have it or you don't, because it's a gift from the Lord. So if you've been given a gift, you got to grow it now while you can.
Like Elder Apostle Ramlock would say, store it in your spiritual bank account.
That's right. Because if you go into your spiritual bank account and you spiritually broke, you can't withdraw anything from there. You're pretty much screwed. So yeah, going back to the title, read these articles, because there's actual information in there. And I mean, not saying sit down for 30 minutes and read every single, no, but whatever you can, if it's a good article, important one, try to actually read it, and get all that information, and it may lead you to something else. It may lead you to more information, but it's definitely important, especially in these times, to be up to speed and to be aware and in the loop as to what is happening in the world, what is happening around you, and how eventually it all relates to prophecy. All right. So we're pretty much going to end it there. You got any other points? No. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I know it was quick, Salakia, but Lord willing, it was edifying to the elect. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom. I can't find the X button. Bakashai.